Hey guys, it's Tracey from Nova Scotia Living, and it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I started this video a little late in the day, but I have to make an unexpected trip to Digby to pick up one of my little ones that usually I get care for just for Monday because, after our weekend I usually need a day to get things sorted around the house, if you know what I'm saying, and I'm just kind of recovering from not feeling the best myself. So anyways, no biggie. I'm gonna go home, or go to town and then go home and whip up a quick lasagna. I thought today, I've been tackling stuff around the house. Let me turn this stuff down. Tackling stuff around the house that I've been wanting to tackle, but couldn't over the weekend after the long weekend and all the kids home and all that kind of stuff. If you're new, you know I have a house full of kids. Oh, the freaking gas light is on. I gotta go get some gas. Anyways, with the house full of kids, it's hard to get things done. So, that's what I was doing today. Anyways, I'm gonna spin to town and I'll check back after I get home. Okay, guys, I made it home. I'm running down to the basement now. I gotta walk over a few big old boots and stuff. Oh, I need to go get my water bottles, for heaven's sakes. I need to go get my tomato sauce jars. So, I need to go down to the basement. I'm gonna whip together a real quick lasagna. I suppose I fried up hamburger the other day. I had 2 packages of hamburger that needed to be fried up. And I did. And I used half of them for, I'm just trying to think. I forget what I used it for. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I can't even think. I used it for something. But the other half I put in the fridge so I could make it, for something else. Goulash, spaghetti, chili, whatever. So I'm making lasagna. Just because I have a package of lasagna noodles up in my cupboard, I need to use up. Alright, let me get you situated here. This is that big bowl of hamburger, the other package of hamburger, and 3 jars of homemade tomato sauce that I picked from, well, I didn't pick. People in the surrounding community picked from their gardens and were selling them. So, I like to have my sauce heated up, mixed with the hamburger. Well, that's a lie. Sometimes I make it with sauce separate and meat separate and everything else separate before I put it in a lasagna, but I know I have a video on freezer lasagnas, because usually if I make the time to make lasagna, I do a bunch of them and make them as a freezer meal. Oh, I made these in September 2017. Garden fresh organic tomatoes. So I'm just going to heat that up. Maybe I'll keep the meat separate to do it as more layers, I guess. So I just turn that on high until it starts bubbling. I'm going to go grate up some cheese with my food processor, and I'll be back. Okay, anybody that's been watching me for a while knows how much I hate grating cheese. So this is going to get loud, guys. Plug your ears. Oh, I suppose I got to plug it in, don't I? Got a bunch of mason jars here on the counter I still haven't canned with. Let's see here. Alright, there you have it. I'm just using the old-fashioned old cheddar cheese because I watch people make lasagna online and they use ricotta cheese and all this different cheese and it looks absolutely phenomenal and I'd love to do it, but it's so dang expensive here in Nova Scotia. Honestly, I don't ever buy that cheese because it costs so dang much. So I'm just going to keep this absolutely simple because I'm still not tip-top today. But yeah, if you guys don't like grating cheese, food processor is a wonderful way to save you that elbow grease. And yes, you got to wash that, but I'd rather wash that than grate cheese, honestly. But that's just me. Me's just not feeling so hot, so she asked for some chicken noodle soup. Poor baby. Yeah, it's always good to have a nice little stockpile of some just Campbell soup or canned soup. I make my own chicken noodle, but in a pinch, two minutes in the mic, and she has something to eat. Alright, so this is straight up tomato sauce. There's no seasoning or anything, so I'm gonna season it up a smidgen when I get the chance. Now, you guys know, you can put anything in a lasagna. You can put absolutely anything. I put in spinach, you know, I put in, well, usually I have onion, but I don't even have the energy to do that. So I'm just keeping it simple. Straight up cooked hamburger, sauce, and cheese, and spices. I do have some minced garlic. I'll throw some of that in there. And I'm keeping it easy, guys. I'm feeling a little better than yesterday. I tackled Mally's room today. Now, yes, usually the girls clean up their own rooms, but every so often I need to go in and do a deep clean because they still need to get the nooks and crannies and they get a little flavor of, yeah, we like garlic, guys. And that's a big pot. They still need to learn to see what a room looks like when it's all done. So that's what I did. That was my biggest accomplishment. Can you get the minced garlic out of the fridge? Do you know what that looks like?
I don't know what it looks like.
It's like a big tub with a purple top. And anyways, that I did Misha's the other day. But of course I did the regular, yeah, I'll get you a drink of water, hon. Misha wants some water.
Is it on the top shelf?
I don't know where it is. Oh, it's right there. That tub.
Oh.
Of course I did some loads of laundry. That's for standard. And dishes. Yeah, here's your water, hon. Thank you. I got some onion powder to throw in there. And yeah, I put garlic powder, but I like to have oh, jeepers.
We haven't used it in a long time.
Well, it just seizes up a bit. Just I put about a heaping tablespoon. Here, that can go back in there. And yeah, put in what you like to have in your lasagna. This is onion powder, guys.
I know what I like to put in my lasagna.
What?
More lasagna.
Yeah. Now, you guys will think, oh my goodness, you put so much in there, but that's how we do. We like things
flavorful.
Flavor.
Flavor.
You can't, straight up tomato sauce tastes good too, don't get me wrong, and I put a little pinch of sugar in when I can my own tomatoes to cut that back, so I'm not putting more sugar in this. I know people will say you got to put a pinch of sugar in when you're making some tomato sauce, but I do it when I can it, so I don't need to put any more in it now. But yeah, if I can find a picture of the tomatoes I got, and I simmer it, at least overnight, in a slow cooker, but I have like 5 slow cookers going at a time, with the lid of the slow cooker sideways, so it evaporates some of the liquid. It gets down nice and thick, and I just blitz it in my food processor, and it's nice and thick. It's not watery or anything. It's straight up tomato sauce. I don't even seed it or skin it. I know a lot of people do, and some people say it's bitter. I don't find it's bitter, but that's me. And my family doesn't complain. They eat it and love it, so it's all good.
Tastes like a tomato.
Tastes like a tomato. Sure does. I cannot take the time to do all that. I've done it before when I was first starting out, but I've learned I don't need to do that, but that's me. But how did you guys spend your Tuesday after a long weekend? I was hoping to kind of rest and relax, and I did some. I worked and rest and worked and rest and worked and rest. My eldest daughter popped over for a box of those gloves that I like to use when I'm cooking and stuff like that. And, but she only stayed a minute. She didn't want to catch any bug that might be floating around here. So, that's kind of heated up. I'm just going to nuke that hamburger a couple minutes. It's not going to be piping hot, but it'll be warmed up, and then I'll start layering it up because it's 4:30 already. We usually eat supper around 5, but we'll be eating around 5:30 or 6 o'clock. We'll see. Just hold on a minute, guys. Alright, guys. I got my glove on. I need to get my scoop if it's in here. Just tore the handle off of it, but can I get it back on? We'll see. Alright, I'm just going to throw this together while I chit-chat. Believe me, this is not a fancy lasagna. Usually I have mushrooms and all that, peppers, all that stuff in here. But I'm keeping it simple because I'm tired and I'm not 100%, but I'm not bad.
The simpler the better.
But I always put a little layer of sauce on the bottom. Not a big one, just so I don't have to spray the bottom, but that's me. There's not really any wrong way to layer a lasagna, I don't think. Oh, Mally, get that yellow box in the cupboard there. They're lasagna noodles. I just have one box, so you should be able to find it. Yeah.
I wanted to eat all these noodles, even when they weren't cooked.
I've had these noodles since the last time I made lasagna, because I bought a couple extras just in case, and I've never used them, so I think there should be enough in this box.
Are they old?
No, Mally, these noodles can't go old for one lasagna, so there's not really going to be a freezer meal. Oh, Maze, you go on out, darling. I'm telling you, our house. There's coughs and sniffles and sniffles and coughs. You can't escape it. Oh, sounds like a herd of elephants up there. I swear to goodness.
No.
Is there elephants upstairs, Maze?
No, maybe you hear it.
Maybe an airplane? Well, it sounds like an airplane. Those girls.
Yeah.
They don't know how to keep quiet, do they? Just put another little layer.
No, it's
I want that bottom layer to be soft.
downstairs.
Elephants downstairs?
No.
No?
If I turn to a 7-year-old.
So this is warm. It's not hot. I just nuked it. Maze, you gotta scoot it out. I'm dealing with food, darling.
And they need an elephant.
And pretty much, you guys know, it's just like spaghetti or goulash. It's all the same ingredients. It's just presented differently, but sometimes I do fancy lasagnas. Sometimes I don't. I might have done too much cheese. I did a whole block and a half because that's what I had in my fridge. But I'm trying to make up for the lack of bulk I have in here. I cannot have a lasagna without a little bulk in there. So yeah, it grinds it up just perfect. I use my food processors for so many things. When I'm canning, like I say, the tomatoes, I use the little slicer attachment. I use the grater like I used for the cheese. When I do sauerkraut, I put cabbage in there and it just shreds it like nothing. Because I've done sauerkraut by hand with a cheese grater. And boy, I got some big biceps after that, I can tell you. And I don't mind big biceps on women. It looks nice, I think, but feeling it the next day. I can tell you. Oh, let me do this. When I was little, I always wanted to be a nice big bodybuilder. I did. And whatever sauce I have left over, it's not going to waste, guys. I'll just put that in a container and make some sort of something with it in the next day or two. Or I could freeze it. It doesn't matter. But it's nice knowing, like, I'm not knocking store-bought sauce, because I use that too. Don't get me wrong, I use it. When I run out of this, I use it. And sometimes when I don't feel like going down to the basement, I use it, because I have a little stockpile of store-bought sauce. Don't get me wrong. But when I use garden fresh tomatoes that I know what's in it, and you know, there's no extra preservatives or anything, it's straight up tomato. Makes me feel good to know what I'm feeding my family. Yep, well, my husband's not home yet from work. My son is. He got his official beginner's license in the mail the other day. They mail it to him, which is strange. They always gave it to us right at the DMV when we went, you know, when I was 16. That was years ago. Had to come in the mail. But it came. So that's exciting. Well, I hear whining and grumbling out there. I just can't escape it, I swear to goodness. Misha! What's the matter? Well, you swear that the world's ending when they're crying like that. And I'm not taking it, it's not that I'm not taking it seriously, but they make a mountain out of a molehill sometimes. That's what kids do. Yeah, I opened up too much sauce. But that's alright, I'm going to put some more on. Let me put a little bit of sauce on top of this and use the rest of that stuff. Well, what's the matter, Mish? What's the issue? Need a tissue?
No.
No? What's the matter?
Maze grabbing his face.
Oh, that Maze jumping Jehoshaphat. Why don't you stay away from Maze and I'll deal with that little turkey after.
Mom.
What?
I'm done this thing, like, well, I'm not in Franklin's room anymore, but, like, this, I'm outside, and, I can't, like, go this way.
Why not?
It's like an edge, see? I've already went up on the tree, and it's not much, just, like, a couple branches, like, 4. And he laid it in my spot.
Well, you'll have to wait till I'm done making this Mish. When I put this in the oven, I'll come out and mediate, okay?
So what do I do, Mom? Like,
I don't know, Messiah. I've never played that game before. What's the instructions?
it doesn't say nothing right now.
Okay, we'll try to move around the area and see if there's an arrow or something. You need to go talk to one of the characters.
There's nothing.
Well, I don't know. I'm making supper right now.
Do you want me to just at the table? Alright.
Well, sit there for a second, and I'll be out after I'm done putting this lasagna together. I had to spin into town this morning, guys, because Messiah beat that Super Mario DS game. A reward for her if she acts, you know, has good behavior at school, because she struggles sometimes. Honestly, she does. She's on the spectrum, the autism spectrum. And if she has a good day at school and comes home with a red dot, she used to be able to beat 2 levels of Super Mario. But as the levels got harder, it took longer to beat 2 levels. So, I mean, I only want them to have so much screen time in regards to that, or for her especially. And eventually she beat the game. But the other games that we have here were from my teenager from a few years ago that are too advanced for her, because they're for teens, and I don't need her trying to play that, because she'll get frustrated with not knowing how to do it. So when I went into town this morning, I went to Deal and Deal. It's a shop here in town. It's like a thrift shop. Anyways, I've never been in there before, and I went in there today specifically looking for that, because it looked like a shop I could go. If I looked around, I'd end up buying stuff that I don't need because they had a lot of good stuff there. I might go there again sometime when I have a little extra funds, but I don't really need anything. I'm perfectly content with what I have now, but you know how you go to shops. There's a little bit of cheese and a little sauce left, so I'm going to save this and make something with it. Not today. So this is going in the oven. What does it say for these noodles? It says at 400 layer lasagna noodles do not overlap. Generously cover the lasagna layers with sauce and your favorite fillings. Apply extra sauce to the top layer for best results. Ensure the lasagna noodles are covered with sauce. Bake immediately after preparation. Cover with foil for 45 minutes cooked and uncover for 15 minutes until noodles are tender. Let stand 15 minutes. So I guess I'm going to cover this up. I know I could throw that cheese on there, but I'm not going to. I'll cover it up and we'll let me get the foil. And then we'll stick it in the oven. So all in all, it'll take about an hour and 15 till it's completely done. What time is it? 4:42. Yeah. Ooh. I'll be cutting it close, guys. I gotta leave here. I gotta pick up somebody by 6 at the latest. So we'll be playing it. I have it on a cookie sheet if you don't see, because things always drip over, especially when it comes with cheesy, saucy dishes. You know, if you bake or cook or anything like that, you know. Bake. Oh gosh, I think I have pans in the oven. Let me move you back a smidgen. They're all clean, I just use that as a storage spot. Oh, it's nice and heavy. Let me see here. Bake at 400. Start timer. I'll do it for 45. I know it's not preheated, but I just go according to the texture. I always poke it with a steak knife. If the noodles are soft, it's done. You know what I'm saying? So I'll bring you back after this goes through its thing and we'll check it out. All right, I forget if I finished my story about going to town, about the levels I picked up for Messiah. I picked up a couple new games, so I just thought I'd bring you back and show you what I'm doing with this sauce. Ooh, that's hot. I gotta put that down. And before I put the cover on that, I'll let it cool down to at least room temperature, a little cooler. I'll need a couple of containers. But yeah, I can use that for spaghetti or chili or anything really. Let me grab another one over here. I just thought I'd chit chat with you. I haven't had the energy to, well, I have all mismatched different containers, so whatever will work. I just want to get the dishwasher going before supper, get those dishes done. So after supper I can load up all the supper dishes and not have to worry about stuff tomorrow. Waking up to dirty dishes, I can wake up to clean dishes. There's still a little turkey and gravy and stuff in the fridge, but I thought they've had turkey the past couple of days, I can have this, and that turkey and gravy will be good for tomorrow. So that can be an option for whatever the heck I make tomorrow. And who knows, one of them might decide to have that instead. So there we go, and I'll just put this cheese in its own container, and then I can wash all of this. Alright, the buzzer just went off. So we'll take it out and uncover it. Whew. And now it's going to stick to this. Oh, not too bad. Oh, looks good, looks good. I'm going to put it back in for 15 minutes so it browns up a little bit. And that'll be supper. What am I gonna do? You want a banana? Well, hold your horses. Alright guys, it's almost 6 o'clock. I had to, after I took the tin foil off, I put it on cook time so it shut off 15 minutes later. And it got a little browner, but it's not burnt or anything. But the noodles are all cooked, so it's all good. I'm going to start dishing it out because these pups are hungry. Go on out, Melly. I'll divvy it up.
Oh, I won't get mine though.
You're going to have to wait, Melly.
Save me a centipede.
Go on out, you guys. It's too hot for you to be out here. Oh, whenever I get supper just about ready, they're all sniffing around the stove. But that's the time I need to get their heinies out of here. Okay, because I'm fighting over who gets first and all that stuff. Now, I don't know. I'm only going to give little pieces right now. Now, if it wasn't so late, I'd let it sit a little bit longer to cool and sit up more. So this might be getting sloppy. But we'll see. Not too bad. This thing is too big for the little pieces. There. Well, it didn't all fall apart completely. That'll be mazes. I'll chop it up a little bit because if you chop it up, it'll cool off faster as it opens up a bit. Mally wants a middle piece, so I'll do Mally's next. Oh, my husband's home. I hear him. I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, this is my plate. It's kind of the droppings that after getting all the other kids' plates out. It's just my son that hasn't eaten, my oldest son. So yeah, lasagna on the fly. And there's those sauces. I'm going to put the covers on them after supper and stick them in the fridge. So I'm going to cut it off here because I'm going to lay down after this. So peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's all good with me. It's up to you. Oh, go eat it, Maze. It's just like spaghetti or goulash. It's just a different noodle. I don't like my supper, he says. Well, tough titty, said the kitty. Anyways, you guys have a good evening, and I'm going to have a good rest. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.